In my brief remarks, I'd like us to answer three questions tonight. What have we done? How have we done it? And why have we done it? First, what have we done? Over the past 20 years, the U.S. mission to South Africa has supported nearly 20 projects funded by the Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation, which in total are worth more than 26 million rand. Gavin has already eloquently described the details of the renovation of the Old Shul and the support to public education and outreach assisted by the grant, including the program by Professor Rabinovich, who will be giving tonight's keynote address momentarily. The United States also supported another project through the Ambassador's Fund that is just right around the corner, the Slave Lodge. For the Slave Lodge, we supported the preservation of artifacts found on a slave ship that sank off of Clifton Beach in 1794. That ship was full of cargo, full of human cargo, when it sank. The Ambassador's Fund ensured that the artifacts were preserved, and most importantly, that we safeguarded the story of the people aboard that ship and of the harrowing Middle Passage. One might argue where there is no history, there are no people. Thus, the importance of the preservation of the history. Many Africans did not survive the voyage of the Middle Passage, and we as Americans feel strongly about honoring their memory, about preserving their story. Second, how do we do this? Was it easy? Every year, over 100 cultural institutions around the world apply for this grant. But my predecessor as ambassador and a team from the embassy are allowed to only select one, maybe two, to pass on to Washington for final consideration. And in Washington, D.C., a committee of scholars review the applications and select the winners. As he noted, when Gavin and his team put together their request for funding in 2021, they were one of only 32 projects that were selected that year out of nearly 200 proposals globally. Absolutely none of this would have happened without Gavin and his team. They deserve an enormous round of applause. Because if they had not written such a stellar proposal, we would not be here in this glorious renovated space today. Now to my last question. Why did we do this? For the last 22 years, the U.S. government has demonstrated our support for the preservation of cultural heritage around the world through the Ambassador's Fund for Cultural Preservation. Synagogues and churches have been renovated. Languages or traditional art forms have been codified and taught to younger generations. Artifacts that were buried under hardened lava or at the bottom of the ocean have been recovered and restored. But it's not about the item that was recovered or the space that was restored. It's not about the roof that was repaired, because when you repair a roof, you don't just stop a leak. You save a story. Preserving the story of the first Jewish South Africans, the very first synagogue built in sub-Saharan Africa, and the community that depended on it, provides a view of history that illuminates the diversity of the South African people. The story educates us all, and, more importantly, corrects false narratives about peoples and nations as it uplifts and reaffirms the value of diversity. So in closing, I'd like to reference Judy Heumann. Judy is widely regarded as the mother of disability rights, of the disability rights movement. She cited the ancient rabbinical imperative, which many of you already know well. Tikkun olam, the imperative to repair the world. To repair the world. Just as we've repaired the roof, not only to stop the rain from destroying the building, but to ensure that our humanity and our stories are not lost. I could not agree more that it is imperative, our job as citizens of this planet, to repair our world. Tikkun olam. Not just for ourselves, not just for our communities, but for all of humanity. And as we do, we also become more able and more empowered to tell our stories. Stories that speak to the heart of a community, stories that teach us all about each other's struggles, and stories that are powerful tools in building universal appreciation of all cultures and universal acceptance of everyone's human rights. Because it's not just a roof, it's our story. And it's a story that must be told. Thank you very much. God bless you.